Okay. Good morning, people. How are you today? I'm great. A bit of a slow morning, but nonetheless, let's get into it. I'm very excited to be here. I'll start off by doing the introduction of the mentorship program and the genesis. On Mondays, we have Rev Water, who takes us through different topics and branding, personal branding. We have Dr. Sunshine Sylvia on Tuesdays, which was yesterday, who speaks about mindset change and the difference between mindset change and mindset um, change process. And then we have me, Sampa Salome Mwansa Chilambwe on Wednesdays, who speaks about mompreneurs and how we can improve ourselves, how we can improve our visibility, and also thrive whilst taking care of our families. And then on Thursday, we have Dr. Nelly, who is just, she's amazing. She speaks about boardroom to bedroom and all things in between. And then on Fridays, we have Wellness Friday. So for today's topic, we're going to go into networking for success. This is something that Dr. Sunshine has always spoken to me about, as well as Rev. I've met him in several fora, and even when I'm at the back, he's always like, come to the front. How are people going to see you if you're all the way at the back? So this, I think, is a timely thing to speak about networking for success. Always show up, always dress up, always be ready, always be such that even when someone calls you to the front, you're blending in with the front as opposed to standing out because you're not ready, you're not dressed appropriately. So today I'm going to start off by speaking about the scriptures. I always like to delve into scripture first because I am a religious person. So I'm going to speak about Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 to 10. Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. This, I think, is timely because as I'm on this platform because of the giants that have come before me. You know, the platforms and the networks that Rev Water, Dr. Sunshine, and Dr. Nelly have are huge. So for me, I don't take it lightly. And this is why Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 to 10 is something that I would like to share today, because you should always have someone to help you up. It's not just, I know it's common on weddings, but it's not just about, it's not limited to weddings. It talks about just having a support system. It's very important. And this is why networking for success is important. Who is in your network? If you look in your phone and you need a 10,000 kwacha, or you need support, it's not always monetary, or you need support, or you need to be, your PR to be improved, who are you going to call? Do you have people in your phone? If you don't, your phone is full of 1,000 contacts and there's not one person who can do it for you, then it's a problem. And then we'll also talk about, sorry about that, my camera is playing up. Nonetheless, let's carry on. I'm also going to speak about Proverbs 27, verse 17, which says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. What this means is you should be willing to give something. You should be willing to give to receive. You know, iron sharpens iron. It means everybody that is within your circle, what value are you bringing to them? If you're bringing them value, then it becomes easier for them to give you value as well. So networking is more than just exchanging business cards or meeting people at events. In a biblical sense, networking is about building meaningful, purposeful relationships that bring value, support, and growth. It is creating partnerships where both sides benefit. It's important for both sides to benefit because, you know, then you don't feel, oh, okay, I'm giving value and I'm not getting anything back. This creates animosity. It creates you feeling tired, you know, you feeling you're not participating in the relationship that you're in. So we see that success is often found when we join forces with others, when we work together with people who challenge and encourage us. You know, even Jesus had disciples. So who's on your team? You know, many people, they shy away from having a board of directors because they're like, oh, okay, but I don't have enough money right now to have a board. I can't do this, I can't do that. But when you build meaningful relationships, you'll be surprised the caliber of people that you can get on board to be on your board of directors for your businesses. So women, you've got so many opportunities, even just your aunties, your uncles. These people can be on your board, and then they come with a wealth of experience because they sit on other external boards, which probably pay them, and they are recognized. You find that I'm active with the Lusaka Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I want to become more active with that. Before I had my babies, I was more active, but now I want to get more into it. What's his name? Mr. Lawrence has always been supportive of what I do, and he took me to meet the Minister of SMEs. So if I wasn't active and I wasn't building relationships within my networks, that would have not been possible. So this is something that we need to make sure that we are deliberate with. So I'm going to dive into a few points. Point one, the power of partnership. The scripture is commonly read at weddings, like I mentioned, but it speaks to much more than marriage. It applies to all kinds of partnerships, including business, ministry, and community. Two are better than one because together we can accomplish more than we've ever done. If one falls, the other can help the other up. This highlights the importance of mutual support. No one should have to go through struggles alone. In the context of networking, partnerships bring better returns, shared success. When you share your success, it's spread faster, like a wildfire. When you light somewhere and then it just spreads. But if you light within your own confines, in your cup, you've got a candle in your cup and you light that candle, that fire doesn't go anywhere, just for you. And Dr. Sunshine had taken me to Dr. Nelly's event a few weeks ago. And Dr. Okono, I think his name was Okono, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I think it was Odono or something like that. He was really talking about how rain is not for yourself, it's for others. So what impact are you having on others? You should be able to impact others in such a way that then blessings then shower on you. So this is what we are talking about: partnerships, helping others, being an impactful leader. These are things that we need to be constantly talking about. In the context of networking, partnerships will always be important. What networking events have you been to this month? We have an event coming up on the 25th. You can inbox me for more details, or you can share, you can DM me. And then this is important for you to always be networking. It will be on Africa Freedom Day. It's called the She Builds Africa event. It will be very exclusive, and we're only going to have a few people invited to the event because we feel impact is better when you can understand and listen to everybody that's in that picture. So who in your life helps you to get back when you fall? Do you have that backup plan? Do you have that backup person who, when you falter, is there to support you, is there to hold you up and say, look, it's okay, we all fail, but you can carry on? Do you have that person in your life? So this is a reflection question. Who in your life helps you get back when you fall? You need to have at least one person in your corner to be able to thrive, not only as a mother, but as a business owner as well. Point number two, mutual growth. Networking should lead to growth, not just in business, but in character and skills. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Networking is about being challenged and refined. The right connections in your life will push you to be better, to grow, and to raise your potential. So are you deliberate with your networks? Who is in your network? Who are the 5 people in your network? And they don't have to be your age. Usually for me, I like having people in my network who are of varying ages, because then you can learn something from someone who is younger and you can learn something from someone who is older. But most of the time with your peers, whilst you can still learn something, it's important to know what the other generations think. And for business, that actually pushes your business further, because then you can refine your product to, or your service to fit either generation. So the process of sharpening yourself is uncomfortable. You know, there's what they say, you can't grow in your comfort zone. You have to come out of it. You have to experience life. You have to, you know, it's like friction, but it results in a better version of yourself. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to try. Those ones that try are the ones that succeed. When we network effectively, we form relationships that help us improve our skills, gain new perspectives, and discover new opportunities. A network should not just flatter you. Oh, you're doing great. Oh, okay. Keep you comfortable. It should help you grow. It should challenge you in positive ways. Today, I had to make sure that I was on the call early. I had to make sure that I was ready. I had to make sure my kids were off to school. It may seem like a lot, but when you write it down and you're deliberate, it makes things easier. So write down, this is the benefit of the MCP program, is that, you know, you get a journal. You get a journal that they give you, that Dr. Sunshine gives you, where you write down your goals. You write down what it is that you want to do. You write down, okay, so for now, she's challenged me to be posting on LinkedIn every day by 8 in the morning. And this is something that I've now had to say, okay, how am I going to fit this into my schedule? Guess what? I wake up at 3 when I'm feeding my baby. After I've breastfed my baby, after I've taken my toddler to the toilet, and now they're asleep and my daughter is asleep, then I get onto Canva to design. I design. I say, okay, let me design something which I'm going to be able to share on LinkedIn. So I'm designing from maybe 3:30, because she feeds for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. So from 3:30 or 3:45, then I start to design my poster and I create the content. So I was actually laughing with myself that thank God for Canva and ChatGPT. Thank God for Canva and ChatGPT, because these make me shine. And with the use of ChatGPT also, I'm very deliberate with what I put in. I say, okay, tweak it this way, do this, do this. And it actually told me that you're very insightful. The ChatGPT, the way I use it more as a tool than for it to feed me information. So these are the things. Learn to schedule your time, learn to be able to use tools to your advantage. All these tools are available to make our lives easier. So we need to learn to use them, because then you can then thrive better. You can be able to, someone else will be like, oh, she posts consistently, but no one knows what you need to do to get those posts ready. So that is part of networking. Social media networking is very important. It's just as important as physical networking. So who is on your LinkedIn? Who is on your Facebook? Who is on your Instagram? You need to be deliberate with which platform you use, because what this does is that it's the same way you will not go to all events. You need to be choosing, oh, okay, I'll go to this event. Okay, I want to go to this one. I will go to this one. It's very important to be deliberate with where your presence is. That way, even when someone wants to invite you, they're like, okay, maybe not this event, she wouldn't respond. Maybe this event she would respond. Why that is because they've learned what your character is. They've learned your preferences through your actions. So are you deliberate, or you just go anywhere and everywhere? It's very important to do that, to be very deliberate. So I have another reflection question. Are there people in your circle helping you grow, or are they keeping you stagnant? Are they celebrating your successes? Are they saying, oh, okay, you are doing great? Or are they putting some fire under your bum? For a lack of a better way to say it. Are they lighting you up? Are they making sure that you are challenged? Dr. Sunshine is both my mother and my mentor, and she's always pushing me constantly. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but that discomfort creates growth. I have grown so much in the last year because of being associated closely to her, because of always being available when she says, okay, let's go to this function. Sometimes I'm not, but the functions that I do go to, I derive so much from them. And now that my daughter is getting older, I want to then become more deliberate to going to more events with her, because 5 events that I'm going to go to with her, they yield so much. So I said, okay, there's something powerful in networking. You know, it creates success. It creates more opportunities. So this is important, to make sure that you are networking constantly. If it's not physical, be present on social media. If it's not on social media, be present in your WhatsApp groups. If it's not on WhatsApp groups, just be present. Your presence does so much. You will not grow in a dark room. You know, even plants, they need light to grow, you know. So this is why it's so important to make sure that you are being deliberate in your networking. And I'm going to now go to point number 3, biblical examples of networking for success. The Bible is full of stories of networking for success, of people who helped one another achieve great things through partnership. I'll give you an example of Moses and Aaron. Moses was called to lead Israel, but he couldn't do it alone. He needed Aaron to speak for him. Together, they were able to accomplish the mission that God gave them. This shows that collaboration is very important, and pick people who, where you find yourself weak, find someone who has that strength. Collaboration, call up that person to say, okay, I've noticed that you have a strength in this. Is it okay that we collaborate? Is it okay that I come and speak to you so that I can learn from you, or we can find a mutual way of benefiting? You say, okay, we can do revenue share, we can do profit share, we can do where maybe you franchise me, maybe. So don't be shy, don't sit with your weakness and say, oh, but I don't know this. Find someone who does. That way you grow. And then even your strength, when you go to that person with a weakness that you have, say, okay, but I have this strength, I can help you with this, I can help you with that, I can help you with this, I can help you with coming up with your social media content, I can help you with coming up with your flyers, I can help you with you know, just things that deliver you into being also value to that person. Everybody's got a strength, everybody's got a weakness. That's why they say when you need to do a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats on yourself, so that you can then do that on another as well. And then another example is Ruth and Naomi. Ruth's loyalty to Naomi and her connection with Boaz led her into purpose and destiny. I'll say that again. Ruth and Naomi. Ruth's loyalty to Naomi and her connection with Boaz led her into purpose and destiny. Through their relationship, Ruth found favor and ultimately became part of the lineage of Jesus. Why this is important, an important story, is that it shows how when you connect yourself to somebody who is greater, don't feel you can't also become that. You know, be leveraging on giants, like I always say, leveraging on the giants in your life, leveraging on the people in your life creates opportunities for you as well. Don't be afraid to carry someone's bag, you know? That's the way people start. Okay, can I come with you? I'll carry your bag. Meanwhile, even for you, you know, you're networking. You know that people, oh, okay, she's that person. She's always associated to that person. She's that person's PA. Sometimes it's not always monetary value that they give you, but the connections that they give you are bigger. And you feel, oh, okay, but I've gained this connection. No, you've gained that connection because you were connected to someone who they know. So then that creates that thing to say, okay, if that person can bank on them, I can bank on them too. That's what they call having an endorsement. That's why endorsements are so powerful. You go to Nike, for instance, and they're endorsing Serena Williams. It's because they want to leverage on Serena Williams' network. That is why endorsements are important. I'm going to go to another example of Paul and Timothy. Paul mentored Timothy. This one was actually very deliberate in the mentorship process. Paul mentored Timothy, and their relationship produced great ministry that impacted the early church. Paul invested in Timothy. He invested in Timothy, and they grew under Paul's, and Timothy grew under Paul's guidance. Together, they impacted the world. You know, sometimes we say, oh, okay, I want a mentor. And I've noticed this a lot of times because people will now come to me and they say, okay, can you mentor me? And people's perception of what a mentor and a mentee relationship is a bit skewed. This is why I ask this question every time I have a guest on the morning call. I say, okay, how would you be purposeful as a mentor, and how would you be purposeful as a mentee? Because, you know, on both sides, there's tremendous amount of work that you need to do. You need to be able to be deliberate. You need to write down, okay, what am I looking for in a mentor? What am I going to also give my mentor? It's a give-take relationship. It's a win-win relationship. Because once you do that, then it becomes easier to open up avenues. You know, your mentor probably is maybe 10 years, 20 years older than you. Sometimes you can find it's your mom, if you're lucky. Sometimes you find that it's an aunt. Sometimes maybe it's your mom's friend. Maybe it's your aunt's friend. Sometimes maybe it's a peer who's gone before you and you want to walk within the same steps. Always, 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 I can't put enough emphasis on this. Understand your value. Understand your value so that when you go to a mentor, then you can give that value and say, okay, look, for me, I am great at doing this. I am great at networking. I am great at creating relationships. I am great at using tools such as Canva or ChatGPT to derive what you need to grow your business. When you go to them with that, they're like, okay, I think this mentee understands the position that they need to take when they come to me. I think this, and so then the mentor-mentee relationship becomes better. It's not always about you getting something out of your mentor. Sometimes your mentors feel sapped. Sometimes they feel, oh, I'm just giving, I'm just giving, I'm just giving. When you call them, they're like, ish, what does she want now? She wants a contact. What does she want now? She wants to be invited to an event. What does she want now? She wants money. You know, sometimes be the person to say, okay, I saw this opportunity on LinkedIn and I feel you can your line of business can benefit from this opportunity. And they'll be like, oh, I missed it actually. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. And so the mentor-mentee relationship becomes like a seesaw, up, down, up, down. You can't go up without someone bringing you down, without someone bringing you up, without someone. So it's that type of relationship. It's a give-take. You take, you give, you take, you give, you take, you give, always. You know, I can't put enough emphasis on that because too many people think when you're a mentee, it's just to take. No, it's not. So be deliberate with with your networking for success. It's so, so important. So these stories of success is often not about individual effort alone, but about building partnerships, about giving and taking. I'm going to now give you a few practical networking tips. Here are a few tips on how to network effectively using Bible principles. Be genuine. Proverbs 18 verse 24 says, a man who has friends must himself be friendly. Authenticity is key to building meaningful connections. What authenticity means is being true to yourself. Are you true to yourself? What makes you you? What makes you the person that you are? For me, I always share that I am a family person first. Everybody loves being a family person, but it's important to make sure that, okay, you're giving your time to your family and your family is feeling valued. You know, there's a book called The 5 Love Languages. If you're not speaking your child's or your mother's or your mentors or your husband's or your wife if you're not speaking their love language, they won't feel you. Unfortunately, that's what it is. They won't feel your presence. They won't feel you're being genuine. They won't feel you are bringing yourself to what they need. You're not understanding your environment. You're not growing within your environment. What is it that you can do that can improve the relationships that you have is being genuine. And tell them, okay, my love language, for instance, is gifts. For me, I'm not an affirmation person. I know who I am. So when someone tells me, oh, you're great, in my mind, I'm like, I already know. I already know I'm great, So it's important to, but someone else, that can be their love language. Like my son, he loves being told, oh, you've done well. Are you proud of yourself? Yes, you're proud of yourself. That for him, his love language is words of affirmation. For me, it's gifts. I love gifts. I can forgive you for a sin if you get me a gift that is within what I want, something that, because everything else, your physical touch, not really. Your words of affirmation, not really. So it's important to understand who you are so that you can deliver that message to others, So being intentional as well, networking with a purpose. Don't just collect contacts, build lasting relationships that benefit both sides. This is why most of the times you find that, oh, okay, I'm having an event, I'm looking for sponsors. All the time, surely. When you're having an event, you're looking for sponsors. What happened to the last sponsor that sponsored your event? Why are you still not, why are they not sponsoring the next event? It's because you're not intentional. You haven't built a relationship. You should, I'll give an example of Lulu Hangala Wood. She's I think an ambassador or something for Rhodes Drinks, because I see them constantly sponsoring her events, and everybody within her network as well, they benefit from that relationship that she's built with that sponsor. So I would actually encourage other people to identify who suits your image, identify who suits your persona, so that every time you need something, you can go back to that one person. And the fact that they've continued sponsoring her or continued partnering with her shows that even for them, they felt the value. They felt the value, they felt the impact on their sales or on their branding for them to continue being with her. Not where a situation where, okay, this event, you have this sponsor, this event, you have this sponsor, this event, you have this sponsor. Even for the sponsors that are looking out in, they're like, is this on building relationships, or she's using, or he's using us? So it's very important to make sure that you're intentional, you are genuine, you are authentic. Give as much as you take as well. Galatians 6 verse 2, carry each other's burdens. Networking is about mutual support, helping others and giving value to the relationship. It's important to help others. It's important, like the seesaw analogy that I gave, up, down, up, down. A seesaw can't work if the person is just up. It won't be fun. It won't be exciting. So it's important to make sure that you are networking about mutual support, helping others, giving value, sharing value. And lastly, staying connected. Relationships need maintenance. Check in regularly, offer help, stay visible in the network. Oh, how can I help? I've noticed that there's this gap. Meanwhile, others, they'll say, I'm going to fold my hands. Let's see what she does, or let's see what he does. But meanwhile, you've got answers to a pain that they're having. You have answers to this, you have answers to that. But because you feel, oh no, they haven't helped me, so I'm not going to help them. It's not correct. So always be available to help. Always be the person who is championing relationships. Not every connection is also very important. Not every connection is divine. Be wise about who you connect with. I'm big on auras. Someone's aura, they enter a room and immediately you feel, that energy is very heavy. But someone else can enter the room and you're like, oh, that's a very light energy. I would like to connect with that person. Have discernment. Discern your circle. Not every connection is divine. Be wise about who you connect with. Pray for wisdom in your relationships. Not every relationship is from God. So be deliberate with your connections. Discern your circle. So about being deliberate, I'm going to conclude by saying networking for success is not just a business strategy. It is a kingdom principle. God has designed us to thrive in community. When we surround ourselves with the right people, we find support, growth, and purpose. Just like iron sharpens iron, let's choose to build networks that challenge us, support us, and help us rise to our full potential. Today, I challenge you to look at your network. Are you walking alongside people who help you grow? I'll repeat. Are you walking alongside people who help you grow? Are you being a partner who helps others rise? Success is sweeter when it's shared with others. So let's commit to building God-centered, purpose-driven, and mutually uplifting networks, because when we are united, stronger, we can achieve much more. So together we thrive. I've done this, the morning call is 30 minutes, and I'd like to say thank you so much for the opportunity, and I look forward to next week, Wednesday, when I come through. If you want to come and feature as a guest, you are welcome to feature, but I also give nuggets of wisdom every Wednesday when we don't have a guest. And I'd like to say thank you for everybody that follows us. Thank you for everybody that is committed to attending the 8 a.m. free mentorship academy, because you don't just be mentored by people that are older than you, you also get mentored by people that are your peers. Thank you so much.